In this video, I will discuss the importance of your cell membrane health and how you can keep them healthy and fluid. And if you do not take care of them, no matter how much healthy food or supplements you consume, or even the water you drink, the minerals and nutrients might not go into your cells. Imagine the cell membrane is like the surrounding walls and windows of your house. They are meant to be open and closed to allow you and your families, your friends, or even your pets to come in. You also want fresh air and sunshine to come in while keeping all these bugs and flies out. If you have a cracked wall or broken window, how can it then protect you? If you apply this analogy to your cell membrane, now your cells becomes more vulnerable. Toxins and infectious agents can get in very easily. They disrupt the primary function of the cell and snatch away essential nutrients. And when the cells can't produce what they are supposed to do, they become dysfunction. The health of your cell membrane depends on phosphatidylcholine, and it applies to each and every one of the 37 over trillion cells that lives within us. Phosphatidylcholine maintains cell membrane fluidity so that cells can glide through one another more freely and to send these neural signals more efficiently. Phosphatidylcholine also acts as a structural support, which helps to protect the cell and keep the nucleus safe. In addition, there's also a lot of these protein receptors that sits on or embedded on your cell membranes. So what happens when your cell membranes become sticky and stiff? They become less functional. They can't deliver nutrients into your cells, and now they also can't move harmful compounds out of the cells. When the communication between cells becomes a problem, how the genes and enzymes is being expressed can now affect our pathways. So now we know that one of the functions of this phosphatidylcholine is to make our cell membranes. And we know that billions of cells are dying every day. Basically, when your body is making new cells, like for example during pregnancy, and children who is still growing, they need a lot of all this phosphatidylcholine. The list on the right here gives you an idea of the life and death of a cycle looks like. There are two other areas which also involves the use of phosphatidylcholine. They are our liver and gallbladder. Inside the liver, phosphatidylcholine helps to package and transport triglycerides out of the liver in the form of VLDLs. When phosphatidylcholine is low or when the liver does not produce enough VLDLs, now your triglycerides will build up inside your liver, and when there's too much, you have a higher chance of developing a fatty liver. Usually the triglyceride is being transported and used as fuel by our mitochondria, our energy powerhouse. But when the cell membrane is also affected by low phosphatidylcholine, now your mitochondria has difficulty using triglyceride as a fuel. When fat is stored inside the cell, it can cause a lot of oxidative stress. It can also further damage your mitochondria. And when your mitochondria is being affected, now it makes less energy. Then you will have symptoms start showing up as chronic fatigue. In the past video, I did mention the relationship between cholesterol and phosphatidylcholine. And both of them are very essential for the productions of our bowel. And the ratio is 1:10. When your phosphatidylcholine is low, your bowel now becomes thicker and the flow becomes more sluggish. It will affect your fat digestions, your nutrient absorptions, and how well you can bind to toxins to excrete them out of your system. Over time, the gallbladder starts to malfunction, and this will lead to even more serious issues like gallstones or even small intestines bacterial overgrowth. And gallstones are very prevalent in pregnant women because of the high demand for phosphatidylcholine. You can actually produce phosphatidylcholine in two ways. One is to consume food that contains choline, such as your liver, fish, eggs, chicken, and red meat. Or you can make the phosphatidylcholine through a methylation cycle via the PEMT enzyme. But you need to make sure that your folic pathway and your methionine pathway is running smoothly. The real issue here is that synthetic folic acid is found even in your multivitamin supplements, your ultra-processed foods such as your bread, cereal, even baby milk formula, and even conventional doctors or gynae are prescribing 800 micrograms of folic acid to pregnant women. Why folic acid is such a huge problem? Because folic acid is actually inhibiting your folic pathway. And not only does folic pathway support the methylation cycle, it also involves in the neurotransmitters pathway, histamine pathway, and SAMe productions. And when SAMe is not being produced, it will affect more than 200 overfunctions inside your body. Once you get to see the full picture, now you can start to understand why some women may experience this postpartum depression after giving birth, and why some of these women also experience crying episodes, irritability, sleeping issues, and a sudden change in their eating habits. Studies also show that less choline a woman consumes has a higher risk of breast cancer. And women who breastfeeding, they require even more choline because this nutrient is secreted into their breast milk at higher concentration to support the development of their infant's brain, liver, and cell membranes. We have come to the end of this video. As you can see, phosphatidylcholine is very crucial in so many areas. In the future video, I will explain how phosphatidylcholine can be produced under the methylation cycle with the use of PEMT enzymes. If you like this video, you may also want to check out my playlist over here.